film.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I really enjoyed it because not only was it fun and got me excited to go to parties again since COVID, but it was also a coming of age story. And it had the theme of letting go as it followed kind of three main storylines. For me, it was really about all the characters letting go of the past. I have to...
Dan,
you're breaking up a little bit on me.
Sorry, you're breaking up. Is it possible that we can start over?
Yep, I'm actually just going to change Wi-Fi right now.
Okay.
Because... One second, just give me a moment.
No worries.
No problem.
It's so funny because, as always, the expensive Wi-Fi I pay for doesn't work, and then my little T-Mobile personal hotspot works better.
We're all going through it right now, being at home, all the technical difficulties, so no worries.
Well, now it's working, so I don't think we'll have any problems. So congratulations, Will, on the film.
Thank you so much.
I loved how it kind of followed four main characters and three different storylines. And it was so interesting because even though it was a comedy and it was fun and exciting and made me want to party, it also said a lot about life and how all of our lives intertwine and how connected we all are.
Yeah, that's dead on. You should be writing our synopses. Yeah, the movie, takes place over the course of one night, and it's from the vantage point of 3 to 4 different people that are going to this party, some that want to be there and some that definitely do not. And, the goal is really just to capture, a person's 20s and kind of the different chapters that you experience, from moving to a new town to being in a new relationship and trying to move on.
It's so funny because I'm at the end of my 20s now almost, and it made me miss my 20s. I felt sad that those parties are over, but also kind of relieved that I'm not going through all of those things that you go through when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah, I feel like the older you get, the less you want to be there, which is kind of funny. And in my experience, kind of true. And that you kind of see that throughout the film. It's a lot rowdier near the beginning, and as you go on, the conversations get a little bit more serious, and the personalities that kind of come in and out, you really want to know beyond if they're having a good time, what their lives are like. So
yeah, and what I liked about one of the common threads about all of the characters and all of their stories is they all, by the end of the party, were letting go of something. Like there was Betsy that was letting go of her past and who she was when she lived in the town, and then Courtney's character of letting go of who she was. All of them seemed to let go of something, and I really liked that element of it.
Yeah, that kind of speaks volumes to Austin, Texas, just as a town, because it's a very transient city, and so people are kind of coming and going all the time, and especially when you're in your 20s, people are making decisions a lot more frequently. So I felt like most of my mid-20s, a lot of friends were like, man, should I move to LA or New York or some other, like Nashville? And and there's always a group that stays and hangs out, and there's people that kind of leave and some come back. And there's a great moment in the movie where Betsy comes back and sees her whole group of friends, and one of the guys is like, dude, where have you been? Like, I haven't seen you in forever. And she's like, I moved like 2 years ago. What are you talking about? And that kind of happens. I mean, there's a big group of 20 somethings here in Austin that we frequently would just get together, and people would kind of come in and out, and it was fun to see the way that people changed.
Yeah. So are you from Austin originally? Is that where you're from?
I'm from Dallas. Yeah. So from Dallas, went to college in Waco, Texas, and then further down south to Austin. So hope to be here for a long time.
I love that. And I love all the how funny it was as well, because there were caricatures of people who stay in the hometown, but it wasn't too far away from people I know who have stayed and never really left their mother's basement. And I think that was so the beauty of it all, because a lot of us who move to big cities and go home were like, oh my God, like so many of the people that I know are still in mum's basement, or vice versa. I think you could really relate to everyone in the movie.
That's great. I mean, we love to hear that you can relate to it. You know, there's so many different personalities that I think, you know, there's something in it for everybody. And that's what I love about the film is everybody's dealing with something that you could probably relate to. And we've seen that just in the response. People kind of gravitate towards one character or another, kind of based on where they're at. So yeah, it's wonderful.
And I wanted to know, what was your intention when you were directing the film? Did you have a very clear intention? What were you hoping to create and cultivate?
Yeah, so the film was actually based on an experience making a short film that my co-writer Michael Allen and I did about 5 years ago. And what we wanted to capture then, which is what I wanted to capture in this feature, is just how do we take the experience of being in your 20s at a house party and put that in a bottle and you know, create almost like a time capsule out of it. And so a lot of this film is really geared towards capturing those moments, those small moments, the moments of panic where you don't know if you're doing the right thing, you know, with your career or if you're with the right person. And so that was really my intent, was for it to feel very nostalgic and very authentic to just sort of these backyard hangouts. You know, the movie's not like a crazy Project X or, you know, Animal House type movie. It's very much like a hangout film. So that's what I love to watch, and that's what this is.
And I think that's the reason it's already doing so well. I was talking to some of the actors, some of your cast yesterday, and already you've got 9.5 out of 10 on IMDb. And for a comedy, that's and you know, and in this genre for, you know, a younger category, that's huge. That really is huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's great news to us. We love that people are responding well to it, and you know, we want people to enjoy it. And it's not, you know, and part of it's just it's an easy movie to like. There's nothing political, there's nothing too, you know, serious in it. We're not trying to make any kind of statement. We want you to enjoy it and have a good time.
Yeah, and have fun. And I think everyone is now excited to go to parties because, you know, 6 months ago, when we would watch things like this on the movies, it felt like a foreign land. It felt so far away from where we are. But now it's like, you know, in the next month or two, we'll be able to go to things like this. So I think it kind of got people revved up and excited for parties and, you know, and seeing people again.
Yeah, I remember like watching movies during the pandemic and just seeing people like high five. You're like, you shouldn't be doing that. But I think we're kind of coming out of that now to where, yeah, it's a great time to watch it.
No. Well, thank you so much. I know everyone's going to love it. And yeah, congratulations, because you did a brilliant job. And I think it really stands on its own. So like nothing else that's kind of out there right now. So congratulations.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it.
Yay.
Yay.
Good job. I really enjoyed it. I loved it.
Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. I appreciate it.
It's good. And I do a lot of these. And sometimes I have to pretend that I like them. But I really did like your film. So yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it a lot.
Of course. Of course. Good luck with the rest of your interviews.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Bye.